Hi everyone, I am Miftahul Jannat. My student ID is on 50. Today I am going to present one of my favorite poem on his blindness by John Milton. John Milton was born in 1608. He was a English poet. He was highly educated man, fluent in multiple languages, and his works reflects his deep engagement with classical literature, politics, and religion. Milton became completely blind by 1652, which significantly influenced his work. His sonnet on his blindness, also known as When I Consider How My Light is Spent, is one of his most famous poems. This sonnet reflects his personal struggle with his blindness and his sense of purpose in life despite of his disability. Now I am going to read this poem. On His Blindness by John Milton. When I consider how my light is spent, ere half my days in dark world and wide, and that on talent which is death to hide, tossed with me useless. Though my soul more bent to serve therewith my Maker, and present my true account, lest he returning chide. Doth God exact day labor, light denied? I fondly ask that patience to prevent. That murmur soon replies, God doth not need either man's work or his own gifts. Who best bear his mild yoke, they serve him best. His state is kingly, thousands at his bidding speed, and post air land and ocean without rest. They also serve who only stand and wait. Now I am going to analyze the poem. As it is a sonnet, so the first stanza of this poem is called octave and the second stanza is called sestet. This stanza has 7 lines. In this octave part, Milton expresses his frustration and fear over his inability to use his talent due to blindness. He questions whether God expects him to continue serving despite of his disability. And in this sestet part, Patience answers Milton, explaining that God does not need active work from everyone. Those who bear their burdens and wait patiently also serve him well. We can see there are many literary devices used in this poem. Metaphor. Light is representing vision and understanding. Personification. Patience as a comforting presence. And the theme of this poem are faith and trust in God. The poem explores Milton's struggles with his blindness and his concern about fulfilling his duty to God despite his disability. Ultimately, it emphasizes the importance of having faith in God's plan, in trusting that God values sincere devotion over active labor. Patience and acceptance. On his blindness, discovers the virtue of patience. This theme is crystallized in the line, they also serve who only stand and wait. The poem concludes that serving God isn't confined to active deeds or the use of one's talents. Instead, patient endurance and faith in God's will are also valuable forms of service. Divine justice and mercy. The poem suggested that God does not demand more from a person than they can give, such as reflection of Milton's personal struggles, influence on later literature, religious and philosophical context, universal themes, inspirational value, literary influence, educational impact, cultural representations, personal realizations, faith and service, literary legacy, and many more. In conclusion, we can say by integrating these lessons into our lives, we can strive to live with purposes, resilience, and faith, drawing inspiration from the timeless wisdom of On His Blindness. That's all. Thank you, everyone.